What do you love about yoga, and what is your passion with the subject?
Okay, first of all, yoga gives a lot of joy. And I think everybody that practicing yoga can feel the joy and the peace that you get after the practice. And what is so beautiful about yoga is that no matter in what mood you start to practice, if you bring yourself to practice, and after, you know, an hour and a half or 2 hours of session, you feel completely different. And it doesn't matter if you start with low energy or with a bad mood or even with agitation or anything. When you finish, you're always in a sattvic, relaxed, peaceful. So this is, I think, very powerful about yoga. And also yoga gives you a chance to study yourself, to observe yourself, especially self-practice, because then you can observe all your tendencies, all, you know, the games of the mind, you know, all the excuses or the thing that comes in the mind because you're alone, you're quiet in your practice, and you can watch everything, you know, the whole scene of what happens inside you. And yeah, I think you learn a lot from it. And if you ask about my passion, I would say that my passion is that everybody will appreciate and enjoy yoga. That's why I'm teaching yoga, because I think it's such a wonderful thing. And I really, you know, I see so many people that are not practicing, and I feel pity for them because I think they miss something very valuable for their life. And I think, you know, even people with they have discipline. They go for different kind of sports like cycling, which are good. I'm not saying they're not good, but if you already have this discipline and energy, why don't invest it in something that will give you something more for your soul, not only for your muscles? So this is my, I think, I try to spread the yoga. I mean, of course, I'm not a missioner. I teach only people that come to me. I don't run out of after people to try to convince them, but best of my efforts, I try to spread the yoga as much as possible, and I think in this I continue the work of my guru, you know, B.K. Iyengar, because he was also very passionate about spreading yoga.
Yeah, he really was. No, we're so thankful. How did you get into yoga? You said that you had you've done 35 years of Iyengar Yoga, but it was 5 years a different style of yoga.
Yeah, it was Shivananda. I don't know, yoga came to me actually since I was a child. I remember somehow I was fascinated about the stories, you know, about the yogis and the wonderful things that yogis can do. And when we studied the subject of India, when I was in 4th grade, I was 10 years old, I was already did Shirshasana. I didn't know it was Shirshasana, it was just headstand. With my legs in Padmasana, in lotus pose. So I have some photos that I'm in Indian customs, and I'm doing some yoga posture as a kid. So this was always somehow in my mind. I don't know why, maybe previous inclination or anything. But I always knew that I want to try it, to study it. So when I was released from the army in Israel, it is compulsory. So I did my army service, and when I finished, I was immediately looking for yoga teacher. And I was in Jerusalem at the time. I was a student in the Hebrew University after the army. And I found Shivananda teachers. I didn't know anything about yoga, about different method, and this was 1978, so there was not, yoga was not so known in the West, and especially in Israel was not. So I just started, and I enjoyed it, I like it. And after 4 years, in 82, I went to a TTC, teacher training of Shivananda. And then there was a lady that spoke about, she said, there is a best teacher in Israel, is in Jerusalem. And she gave her name. So this teacher training was a retreat of 1 month. So when I came back to Jerusalem, immediately I was looking for her, and she was a Iyengar Yoga teacher, the first one in Israel. So I started to study with her and appreciate the method. And so I shifted and started to study Iyengar. And in 1988, I first time went to Pune to study directly under Guruji and of course Prashantji and Gitaji.
Yeah, wow.
So
Then the rest is history.
yeah, the rest is history.